Rick, it's a pleasure to welcome you.
Yes, thank you.
Very interesting space. Everybody needs that protection. You're in the security space, but like AI is, security is also very huge. Yeah. We were talking just before the conversation that you are providing a solution that not just works on the perimeter, but actually trying to lay out some sensors kind of a thing within the company. So if you are you sense the attack, then you can immediately deploy those solutions to prevent that.
Correct, yes. So what's the new reality that organizations need to understand is that prevention is unachievable. You can't be 100% secure to keep the bad guy out of your environment. And so what we need to do is figure out how we can detect them once they've gotten inside. So think of it like motion sensors inside of a building. Of course, you're still going to have locks and firewalls and your antivirus, but the bad guys, as we've seen, are able to get past those. And so the question now becomes, how do you detect them? And how quickly? How long does it take you to detect the bad guy inside of your environment? And unfortunately, it's generally about 100 to 200 days before they get found. And so we're trying to solve that problem. Yeah.
The other thing is, like I said, this space is very exciting but crowded. And as a CMO, I'm trying to learn. One is to build the right technologies. You said you have some great backers. The question I wanted to ask you is, as a CMO of a great startup, how do you then do your bit to put your defenses out there with the competition?
Yeah. So it's important, first of all, to be able to tell a relatable story, right? Because technology is very complicated, and so it's important to make it easily understandable by the organization that you're trying to sell to. And so one of the analogies we use is the motion sensor versus the lock and the firewall and the moats, etc. So the motion sensor is a great analogy. People understand it. They understand that as you're looking at the attacker trying to move around within your organization, they're going to be opening up connections to machines. They're going to be looking for files. And so you want to put little tripwires or sensors in those spaces to help find them.
I just want to take a step back. You had mentioned that you have great backers like Google and Splunk. What makes these good companies take interest in you? This will be helpful for other emerging entrepreneurs who are trying to get those kind of backers for their companies.
Yeah, that's a great question. In fact, for context, Calvio came late to the market. We were the last company to get started in this phase. There were about 4 or 5 other companies that had started a couple years before us. And the reason that we were able to attract such high-quality backers like Google, Splunk, Excel, and Ignition is that they saw that we had a very differentiated strategy based on true innovation and patents. And so by being able to observe what the competition had done and where their approaches were falling short, it helped us to create a better approach to solving the problem that the investors appreciated. And so, I think a lot of times there's this fallacy that people believe you've got to be first to market. Well, if you're first to market, you're the first to make mistakes, and those get broadcasted to your competitors. And so sometimes being prudent, patient, and watchful can bear fruit as well.
My last question is about people who are interested in marketing jobs in tech companies, especially in startups. What is your advice to them, and what should they look for? What kind of skills they should build or not build before they can look and come and join companies like yours?
Yeah. So I think the key skill for most employees going forward and future entrepreneurs as well, whether you're on the technology side or the marketing side, is to be an avid learner, is to really focus your skills on how to learn, because the technology will always change. It'll move from C++ to Java to Python to JavaScript, and you'll always be learning something new. On the marketing side, you move from data sheets, presentations, and events to online and digital. So now you have Google and LinkedIn advertising, and surprisingly for B2B, Facebook marketing. And so there's always going to be a new technology, and so being able to observe astutely what others are doing in the market and differentiate between a leader and a laggard, and to see what the leaders are doing. And oftentimes they're early, right? But if you can observe something new and watch over time, what I've found is that the folks who are early aren't wrong. It just hasn't had traction yet. So we have to keep evolving, and the old ways of marketing and reaching our customers just aren't working as more. And so digital is the future now.
Well, it's a pleasure. Thank you. I know you're getting ready for your talk, and I know people will be very interested to listen from a CMO.
Great. Thank you very much. Love being here.